Hello and welcome to the first video of this kind. I'm calling it my monthly reset. Lately, I've been feeling close to burnout, very stressed, really just subpar in all areas. I've decided that August is going to be the month of hopefully turning that around, of increasing my well-being. So for this month, I've decided that every week I'm going to implement one practice and then reflect on how I feel like it's benefited or hasn't benefited me in any way. First week for this week, because I'm in my menstrual phase, I'm implementing meditation. It's something that has just fallen to the wayside. I used to do it quite semi-regularly and I haven't done it in quite a long time. So I've decided to do 15 minutes a day because I want to set an achievable aim. If I do something that's too much, I probably won't do it. Whereas I feel like I can spend 15 minutes a day meditating. So for this week, I am also going to, with the meditation, pull a card from the Radiant Crystal deck. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck, but I'm just going to pull one card on what I should meditate with today. Okay, so I got Lepidolite with awareness, balance, and transition. So this is sort of the energy or the gemstone that I will be using in my meditation today. So I'll be doing that, and I'll be doing 15 minutes every day. And then I'll touch base with you at the end of the week to say how I felt I went. With my meditation, I will also be doing breath work because I just do both when I'm doing that. I'm also, I don't know how many times a week, but however many it is, I'm also going to pull a card from my self-care deck and add that to my daily self-care and try and do that. So I'm going to just shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, so I can't show you the card because this one is the family card. So it's got me and my kids. So today I'm also going to make sure I set aside some time for some quality family moments. But like I said, I don't know how many times a week I'm going to use this one, but if I do, I will do it on camera so you can see what I'm putting in along with the meditation. So week one is going to be meditation, and I will let you know how that goes. Hello guys, welcome back. How have I been going? I will let you know. So the first day that I did the meditation, it was rough, I'm not gonna lie. I struggled. I haven't done it in so long, but then it's back to business as usual. So it was just that first day my monkey mind was a little all over the place and hectic, but otherwise so far so good. Now I'm just going to pull a crystal card for an energy that I need today. What energy do I need today? Oh, one flipped over. Okay, we've got petrified wood and grounding, stability, and calm. So that's really lovely. Apologies for the sound of the garbage trucks. I'll wait till they pass while I shuffle my self-care deck. Okay, so for the self-care card today, I apologize if it's still loud, I got earth energy. So I am going to go and spend some time outside, which is fantastic because we have been served up a glorious sunny winter's day. So for a winter's day, this is absolutely beautiful and I will enjoy walking outside. I'm going to a cafe anyway, so I may as well, take a stroll down the street to a park and get my earth energy in. But yeah, I'll touch base with you later on in the week to let you know how I've been going with the meditation. Good morning, good morning. So I am meant to be doing the exercise this week, but because of my blood test, I still have a hematoma in my arm. So yeah, obviously something did go wrong with that. And I decided that I don't want to aggravate that injury further. So instead, what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to just pull from my self-care deck every day. So yesterday was aromatherapy and I lit my candle. So today we'll see what we get. I thought that would be the better option and I'll leave the exercise for another week, probably next week. So let's see what I get today. Aha. So I got breath work. I was actually feeling that today, so I might actually do some Wim Hof breathing today as my self-care. A check-in, I have been pulling a self-care card for the day and that's been great, very manageable for me. I've had a very rough week. Emotionally, a lot of stuff's happened and I've just been trying to be gentle with myself while I process my feelings regarding certain events. But here we are today and we'll pull a little card to see what today's is. I've got sweets. Look, it's kind of fitting. I was planning for today to be like kind of the final day of indulging in foods that aren't great for me at the moment. I did get my blood test done and my thyroid antibodies are up, which I suspected because I'm having hypothyroid symptoms. And with that, normally to get it in remission, I do have to abstain from things like dairy, wheat, and sugar, the top three. And monitor and adjust my lifestyle habits as well to reduce stress. So I was deciding, that on Monday pretty much I was going to be doing that. So I will partake in sweets today and enjoy them thoroughly. They are something, like I said, I can eventually bring them back into my diet once my antibodies are below 15. It's fine. But yeah, unfortunately, my Hashimoto's flares up with stress. And like I said, having that big illness and stressful event set off a ricochet effect. And I haven't really had a break from stressful events. Since then, like I literally just mentioned, I've gone through an emotionally distressing week this week. So, and yeah, the cortisol just sets off the antibodies, and then my thyroid gets attacked and I have hypothyroidism. So once everything's calmed down and I've got myself, my adrenals and everything, you know, reset, I can go back to having my donuts and cakes and things. But at the moment, yeah, I'm going to have to go into my Hashimoto's protocol and douse the fire. So that's okay. I will hopefully indulge my sweet tooth today and savor it while I, you know, spend a month eating more, you know, nutritionally dense foods. But yeah, I'll touch base with you later on. Hey guys, so how did last week go? Well, kind of. I don't think I was that, I think I might have missed a day with the self-care cards, but I did try to do them every day. I didn't film a lot because it was just a bit of a hectic time, but I actually really do love pulling a self-care card for the day because it's a little parcel of time where I actually intentionally do something just for myself. So I might actually make that a habit at least a couple of times a week to pull a card from that deck and spend time with myself, treating myself, taking care of myself. So I did really enjoy that week. This week is now my exercise week. So I have already started since Tuesday, but I didn't film because I had my kids at home. I did work out though. So on Tuesday, I did upper body. So I just use my free weights to try and like build these guns up. It's like, it's getting there. I'm getting some muscular definition slowly. I don't put muscle on very easily. I've got like a Vata body and am not prone to putting on mass. So I have been increasing the amount of food I eat with a emphasis on increasing the protein so I can actually make some gains. I used to do weightlifting a couple of years ago. I got really into it and actually managed to put some muscle on, but I lose muscle so quickly. And after that flu, I wasted away pretty much. But muscle is very important for me to have because of my EDS. It protects my joints and helps, you know, avoid things like subluxation and all these, and pain and aches and everything else. So the more muscle I have on the body, the less prone to injury and pain I am. So it's something that I do try to focus on. And also with weightlifting, it increases my bone mass. And because I have osteopenia, that is something that's very important, that I try and protect whatever low bone density I have. I did weightlifting on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I just did some yin yoga. So I tend to do that. If I have a day where I've done something a bit more intense, so the weightlifting days they put a bit of stress on my body, but I do low reps, heavy weights. That's what works best for me. I can't do anything that sort of overtaxes me because then my thyroid, because of my Hashimoto's, my adrenals pump out way too much cortisol and then thyroid goes down and it's just a whole thing. I have a very fine balance of what exercise actually benefits me and what exercise actually causes harm. So for me, it's very sort of low intensity. I try to focus on my breathing and things like that. So weightlifting is the most like intense exercise I do, but like I said, it's very controlled movements, focusing on form, and I lift heavy, but I don't do many reps and I have a long rest period in between exercises. So I did that on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I did yin yoga. So I love yin, I love having that space in between where I can just, like I said, sink into my body and stretch and breathe. So today I will most likely, I was going to go for a walk because walking is another thing that I love to do, but the weather's looking a bit rainy. So I think today I might just do 5 minutes of HIIT with calisthenics. So I'll just do a Tabata method where I do 20 seconds on. So I might do 20 seconds of squats, push-ups, tricep dips, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, that kind of thing, and then 10 seconds of rest. And I'll just do that for 5 minutes only. That's like the maximum amount of time that I can do a HIIT for. And then I'll just do 3 of those spaced out throughout the day, so that, because I can't do them all together because it's too much. So I'll do 3 sets of 5 minutes of HIIT, and that's like my cardio. That's my version of cardio pretty much. But the other main forms of exercises that I tend to do, besides walking, strength training, yoga, and a little bit of HIIT, is dancing. I like to dance in my lounge room. I used to do Pilates, but I was getting injured. So I think it's the repetition of the movements with my joints actually caused me to be injured, and then I'd be out of commission for a week. So there's no point in doing that if I'm going to have to spend a week off recovering. But that's pretty much what I'll do. So I might film a little bit, I might not. You know, like, who wants to film themselves exercising? It's not really my thing. I might not. It depends how I feel about it. But otherwise, that's kind of my plan for the week, is every day to do at least 15 minutes of exercise for the rest of this week.
3, 2, 1. 1 jumping jacks.
Love you. So I was meant to film this before, but I am now moving on to my last week of my monthly reset, and I have decided that I shall be trying new recipes, because I will be honest, when I am stressed and depleted, I don't nourish myself well with food. I take whatever's convenient, and that tends to be processed or takeout. So I am wanting to challenge myself to cook at least 4 recipes this week, and hopefully that gets me to a bit more of a habit of meal planning again, because I do need to meal plan. I can't just go out that day and grab things. The less trips, the better for me. So I've got 4 recipes that I've planned to make this week, and I will show you what I make. Hi, hello. Welcome to the end of my monthly reset vlog. Excuse me if I sound hoarse. I'm filming all the videos today, as you'll tell by seeing this outfit in all of the videos. But how did my reset go? It went well. It definitely came at a time I needed it. August was a heavy month for me. It was incredibly stressful. So if there was a time to try and purposefully put in some self-care practices, this was the month. So we started with meditation. And I forgot to do a recap. I lost a lot of the footage in this. It's what happens when I'm trying to film something over a course of a long time. But with the meditation, I did find it very beneficial. Have I kept up with it? Not really. Once a week. I'm down to once a week pretty much since doing that. It's just that tends to be what happens effortlessly and organically for me, is I'll do 1 intentional meditation per month. I do obviously want to increase it because it really helps with my peace and my well-being and keeping my autonomic nervous system stable. So I'm definitely going to try and implement that in again. I also really love pulling the card for it. It's just a bit of extra, card pulling that I can do. Sorry, that's my candles. Bang, bang. And then the second week, I think, was meant to be an exercise week, but ended up being a self-care oracle week. And I really loved using my self-care oracle. That was fun. I have made that a weekly occurrence now. So every week I do pull from the self-care deck, and I do that activity. So that was something that was very helpful. And I love that it has variety. So every day it's something different. One day it might be aromatherapy. Have a sniff of this Whole Island candle. Or another day it might be grounding outside on the earth. So that one was great to have. And I will be implementing that. Like, I have been implementing that since that week. So that was wonderful. And then I had the exercise week. So exercise is something I don't like doing. I'm not someone who is a natural exerciser, but I have a lot of chronic health conditions that are benefited by exercise. So it is a necessity for me, but it is something that I instantly let go of when I'm stressed. I won't force myself to do it, but I have to. I really do. So the fact that I kept it to 15 minutes was the integral part of its success. because anything more than that, I will just be like, no, I'm not doing it. But 15 is manageable for me. Even so, on some of the days, the 15 was not, and I did split it into 3 5-minute sessions, and that worked. So I know I can say to myself, like, do 5 minutes. 5 minutes is the absolute, like, least that I can make myself do. Like, okay, I can just do 5 minutes, and then I'll just do that 3 times to get my 15 minutes. But I did that, I think 5 out of the 7 days. There were 2 days where I just didn't even want to do anything, and that's okay. But those 5 days, I saw an improvement in my daily like levels of pain, and it did motivate me. So since doing the exercise week, I have been much more consistent. Literally, I'd say at the least 4 times a week, I've been exercising. I actually went on a walk, a long walk, for the first time since I'd say our autumn. So like in 5 months or so. It's the first time I went on a long walk, and I felt good. My hips were very sore afterwards, so it was a bit too much. Like, I have to be a bit careful not to do too long, and I did go for 35 minutes, which was too long for my first time out the gate. But yeah, the exercise week has positively impacted me. I even have seen like an increase in muscle mass, which is not something that happens easily for me. So every little bit counts. And just to not be so sedentary, because I'm a very sedentary person. I can literally sit in the one spot for like 12 hours without getting up. I can just stay there. I'm like a rock. You just put me down and I don't move. So it was also something, yeah, I started getting up every hour now. I will set a timer and get off my computer chair and just do a stretch. I'll either stretch or I'll just jump on my little mini trampoline for a minute. I just do something for 1 minute. That's me moving around, even if it's just go and put some things away for a minute, because it's just important to have that break and not to be too sedentary for too long in one go. So that was really wonderful and has changed my habits. So the last one was cooking meals. Once again, something I goes out the window when I'm stressed. I'm like, let me just order in some food. Hello, Uber Eats. Or let me have prepackaged food that I can just stick in a pan or stick in my oven. And look, those are things that should be used for like emergencies, not 6 days a week, you know? And that's where I was at. I was doing this for 6 days a week. And I think it's a big reason why my Hashimoto's, you know, came out of remission, because unfortunately stress compounded with a poor diet, it's not good news. It's not good news. So I did, yeah, make 4 new meals. 2 of them were amazing. 2 of them were meh, but it just reminded me of how much yummier it is to eat something that you've made yourself with like real ingredients. It's a huge difference. You just get accustomed to things, and it took this breaking of it for me to like once again wake up and think, wow, I need to eat better. Like I cook for my kids, but they've got very bland tastes, so I don't eat what they eat. I'll make myself something different, and therefore I was going to convenience, because who wants to make 2 meals? But I did get them to eat some of the meals I made. They did have a few bites, but I just thought, I'm just gonna have to put in the effort. Certain things in my life are worthy of the extra effort. So for me, exercise and nutritious meals, I do need to find the spoons for those. So if it means I wash my hair less often during the week, or I vacuum my house less often during the week, I have to find the spoons for those things, because they have a big effect on my well-being and my health. So they were really important. But this reset has been fantastic. It's done what it's needed to do. It has reset my habits. I am now doing these things that are benefiting me and supporting me, especially during this time when my health is not great. So it was a much needed reboot. And I'm very thankful that I made myself do it and held myself accountable, because sometimes I would, I've done these things before, but you start and then you just stop. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing on with these habits. And I think it's only going to get better, because as silly as it sounds, with the weather getting better, I have more energy. I am just more energized, and I'm more motivated, and I'm better at taking care of myself when it's warmer. It's just the way I'm designed, I guess. So the fact that I implemented all of these practices in winter, which is the worst season for me to do anything good for myself in, or to feel good, is amazing, and I'm very proud of myself. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do one of these vlogs again. I don't think I like doing things over the course for a long time. It's too much. I like to just film, edit, post it. But yeah, I just wanted to do something different. It's one thing too as well. I'm trying to just create just be a bit more creative, I guess, in general, and try things out of my comfort zone, which this was. So anyway, if you've watched it, thanks for watching. If you've gotten anything from it, or maybe it's inspired you to do one thing for yourself today, then that's fantastic. I just hope that wherever you are taking care of yourself. And as always, stay well, Star Child.